Right in front of me is the brilliant Chris Walker.
I went to school here, grew up here, so it was nice walking in the building today, into the lab where all of what I teach now started, right here in this very studio.
Many of the elements that are utilized here come from Papua New Guinea, and they are part of the result of that first exchange of this dance with the community. It was important to receive their welcome dance to us, and we wanted to dance for them. So it was a very immediate response and resources that I utilized to create something inspired by the ocean.
So there you go. Twist, 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 and go unfold and twist, 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 and unfold and twist, 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 and unfold and twist. That's it.
It has been highly enriching and informative working with Chris to develop the potential and the sculptural elements and the unpacking the language, the vocabulary, the movement for this piece.
How long you can hold it for? Work on holding it for as long as you can.
It has to do with the ocean and exploring the life that we see in the ocean that seems not to move. It's so vulnerable and it's so powerful. We have one that will appear to be just a pile of seaweed, but it also symbolizes something that is happening, that is a real threat to the oceans right now, which is sargassum kelp and seaweed, which is reproducing so much because of global warming. And yes, it is very rich because it has a natural habitat, but it's also suffocating other species and affecting tourism and affecting people's livelihood in many ways.
So you go in, it's safe. You can spin as fast as you want, you're done. Come on. You understand what I'm saying? Can I see the jumbies, just that whole kind of sequence?
The style of stilt walking I do with the team, we do a lot of street and carnivals. So now working with Chris Walker is more like a dance theater. It's a lot more choreography and steps, and you have to get into the character.
But when your shoulder's like this, and he's like this, and his hand, no, it look a hot mess up top.
That relation where if I dance and I show it physically, as soon as people see us, it's like, wow, what's that? We were on the floor, nobody would look at us. But because I'm up on stilts, somebody's gonna look. Well, why? Why are we doing it? How does this connect to what's going on out there, even with the dances and stuff like that? Movement is important. Any culture that you go to from the beginning to the end has movement, has music, has something or whatever, and that's a way that we relate to each other. This is our way of expressing or even bringing light to it. Our entities are more of ocean spirits that are actually calling to the people to try and help this problem in a way that sometimes talking physically to somebody is not going to get in your head.
United Nations General Assembly Resolution ARES 71, Transforming Our World. Recognizing that climate change represents an urgent and potentially irreversible threat to human societies and the planet, and thus requires the widest possible cooperation by all countries and their participation in the effective and appropriate international response with a view to accelerating the reduction of global greenhouse gas emissions.
Save the trees, save the oceans.